Hey y'all, welcome back to Pure South Pastures. So glad you joined me today. As you can see here in central Arkansas, we got about eight inches of snow, and for us in the south, that's a pretty good snow. I think this is twice our annual average for all that we get in one year in one snow. So pretty cool. We love the beauty of it, and we love being able to get out and play with our family. We've been running the roads today, kind of checking stuff out. Ran down to the church and just seeing how things are there. But I wanted to talk to you about how we prepare for this, what we do going into it, some mistakes that I made this time, and I'll just show you how we're taking care of the animals, making sure that they're everything's good with them. So thanks for joining me today. We're gonna get this thing going right now. All right, so this is the real world for you. We had trailer problems. Lesson learned. Me and Scout talked yesterday about hooking the trailer up to the four-wheeler yesterday. The lesson is do everything you can before the snow. Don't wait till this crap hits and then try to do it. I'm just pouring sweat trying to get the trailer hooked up. Still not hooked up good, so we'll see how it goes whenever we start trying to unroll the bale of hay off of it. So we're gonna load, if you've seen our videos before, you've probably seen this, but this is how we roll out hay. We don't have a bale and roller, so we take hay, put it on this small trailer on the back of the four-wheeler, and we'll cut the net wrap off as soon as we get it over the trailer so that it doesn't fall everywhere. And then when we get out there, we'll roll it out. As you can hear, the cows they're ready for it. It didn't really roll out the way that I wanted it to. Pretty much when the net wrap came off of it, it exploded. So when we rolled it off of the trailer, it was kind of a mess. We did use a fork and forked it out quite a bit. As you can tell, they laid on it, pooped and peed on it, ate on it. So that roll of hay is they're taking care of it. They all seem to be doing all right. I know they were looking for a dry place to lay, so they were happy to have this. This is what we do. We use it's just a small ATV trailer, and we put a bale of hay on it. It's just big enough for a bale of hay, really. And we put it on there with the tractor, and then we pull it with the four-wheeler, bring it out here, and roll it out. So right down there is where we've been grazing stockpile toward the road. And so after we feed a little bit of hay tomorrow, we should be back on stockpile because I think most of this is going to probably melt off by tomorrow. So here's the sheep and Knox. You can see, hey, what you say there? Hey, buddy, you gonna be star of the show? So the sheep have some hay right here that I dumped over this side of the fence this morning. And you can tell they haven't missed a meal. They're doing good. They weather the storm really well. So just giving them a little bit of hay keeps him going. Knox is he's thankful for the hay because it's a dry place for him to lay. Huh. It's a dry place for him to lay down and get some rest. He's been sleeping behind that bale of hay. That little small bale there. He's been sleeping behind that all day while the sheep have been eating on the hay. So it's kind of their spot. I don't know if you can hear that big dog barking in the background. But Knox has been locked in looking over there to see what it was. He actually fought off 2 dogs earlier this week. He'll sure get after it. Knox is snoozing on the dry hay. So if you have livestock, you know one of the most difficult issues during weather like this, or anytime the weather gets below freezing, water becomes an issue. If you have flowing water in a stream somewhere, that's great, or if you have ponds that you have access to. And we actually do have access to ponds here, but we just keep our animals out of ponds. So we try to use really good, clean, pressurized water. But that presents a problem, obviously, when everything wants to freeze. So your hoses freeze up, your tanks freeze up, unless you have something to help with that. So I want to show you a system that anybody can build for yourself or put together. It's inexpensive. Anybody can do it, and I think it's a pretty good solution for weather like this. So let me show you my tank here. So here's my tank. It's just a simple 20-gallon tank. It's got just a very simple farm float or valve on it. Most people have seen a valve like that valve, that square valve there, but I put a Y on it. If you can see, there's a Y on top of that valve. And on that, there's a freeze miser. It's just a $20 attachment that you can just screw onto it. When the temperature gets below, I think 35, 34 degrees, that thing begins to drip a little bit. And so as it gets colder, it drips a little bit more. And that keeps the water in your hose flowing, and it keeps it from freezing up, and it keeps the water in your tank from freezing up. And so I came out here the other morning, it was 14 degrees, and the water looked just like that right there. No ice on top. The tank was good, but also the hose was good. You can see the attachment or the relief hole that I've put there. That's just an attachment to be able to hook a hose onto, and that hose actually goes out on the ground to get water away from the tank. That way water's not just pooling as that thing begins to drip a little bit. Water's not pooling around your water tank and creating just a big mud hole. There still will be some water around it, but it's not like if you redirect it, it's a whole lot better. So anyway, that's just a simple fix. Just a valve, a Y, and a freeze miser. Freeze misers are about $20. They can get them at Home Depot or order them on Amazon. So yeah, it's a pretty good deal. All right, so there you have it. The sun is setting on the first snow day of 2025 here in Central Arkansas. We rolled out hay. We made sure our water was good for the cows today. Just been checking on them all day. The cows and the sheep they're doing great. They'll do great tonight because they got a nice, dry, warm place to sleep. And we'll be back at it tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think we'll get a lot of melting, and then we'll be back to grazing stockpile. One thing I wanted to note is that we do something different than a lot of people. Many people, their preparation for a snow like this is to put out hay, and they normally put them out in bale rings, and they just set the hay bales out or whatever, and so they do that ahead of time. We can't do that ahead of time because we roll out hay, and we haven't been feeding any hay. This is the first bale that we fed, and so we have to wait until the snow hits, then roll it out, because if we roll it out ahead of time, obviously they won't be able to get to it. So anyway, so that's it. I thank you for joining me. So glad that you hung out with me for just a little while today. So thankful for all of you. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Share a comment. Tell me how things are going with you guys if you're in the snow. Maybe you're not experiencing any snow at all. But God bless you. Have a great one. We'll see you on the next one.